This is by far the craziest things the developer have ever done. Overwatch 2 quick play hacked pickable passives. Now, as we know, usually when they do quick play hacked and things like that, they do use it as a testing ground to, see how the community would feel about certain things coming to the game, but also as a way to gather data about certain things. Now, before I get into this, it does say over here that pickable passives will take over the quick play roster from July 15th to July 16th. Another post said that it's actually up until July 17th, but I just have to ask one thing from Blizzard. What kind of 900 IQ did you think that doing this during the weekdays where people are going to schools and work and will barely get time to play your game is the 900 IQ? Like, you guys know what I'm saying, right? If they want to gather data, if they want to get like player feedback, let this stuff kind of settle in my opinion, and even though this would be kind of crazy, it would shake things up for the game somewhat, is I would let this stay in for at least the rest of this week. So it would go up until maybe like this coming Sunday, and then it would like, quick play goes back to normal by this Monday. It would, allow quick play to be something else entirely. You'd have so much data, and I don't know, I just personally think this is one of those things where this could have been handled better. Anyways, so let's get started. Developer comment here is Pickable Passives looks at whether providing an additional upgrade changes how you approach forming comms or responding to the enemy team during a match. Now, this is what Pickable Passives is. This is their way of trying to deal with counter picking in the game. I feel like they are starting to go down the Paladins route, which, we were talking about on this channel quite a while, that I could see it happening. And well, this is kind of a vision, kind of like a little sneak peek of what could be the future of Overwatch if they fail on solving the problems with counter swapping. But they go on to say over here, we're curious to see how much it puts a dent into the overall game clarity. We're excited to see what you all think. So Sombra's taking over the quick play again for the next 2 days. You can, get the additional passes to benefit Dio role. Hello, please somebody proofread these things. The role you're playing in. So pickable passes go from July 15th to July 16th. Again, heard that it's actually 17th. This is a typo. All players will be able to choose one of the 3 selectable passes from the role to get an extra benefit for the hero. Choose and change your passive at any time in the start of the game, in the spawn room, or while in the respawn phase after being eliminated. Standard role passes also remain fine. Actually, I would have really liked it if these were more of like a level up thing rather than just select and adjust whenever you want. I don't know if that might be the way to go about it. I don't know. Like I want to see how they do it. I'll definitely do a video about it in the future, tomorrow most likely. So pickable tank passives: unyielding, armored, and last stand. Unyielding debuff duration reduced by 40%. That's actually pretty crazy. That pretty much kills Ana's sleep dart, as well as Discord orb or some other things. Actually, I don't know if this interacts with Discord orb that way or not. But imagine if it, like, instead of debuffing the duration against Discord orb, it negates the effect by 40%. That would be kind of crazy. So armored, convert 100 HP into armor. This is broken. Last stand, 50% cooldown reduction while below 50% HP. This is interesting. This could be really interesting on a character like maybe Doom or Winston. Like, I don't know. I have so many things that I want to say about pickable passives, but let's get through all of them first. Pickable passive for the DPS. So Slayers see critical HP enemies through walls. This is nearly useless. Like this is, I love how whenever it comes to the DPS, they almost get like negligible changes where it's just silly, man. Like this is silly. This first one is, this is good for some it's like the current DPS passive. Like current DPS passive is good on certain characters, and then there's Hanzo where he's like, well, I don't care about this. So seeing critical HP enemies through walls, this is like not a bad thing. It's okay, like it's nice to have. It's basically, Sombra's thing where it's like, yeah, it's nice, but like if that person's behind like 5 other people, you're not gonna do anything with that information. So whatever. Trigger happy, increase ammo capacity by 20%. Now this is a game changer. This could be pretty damn crazy on a bunch of heroes, in terms of the way that they interact with things. So looking forward to using this a lot. And then finally, frenzy eliminations grant a brief 30% speed boost. So the OG DPS passive has finally made its return. Over here now, again, this is going to be pretty crazy on characters like Tracer, maybe Venture. Genji was pretty damn good with this too, with this blade. Oh my god, dude, Genji with this is going to be insane. I look forward to checking it out, but his numbers are shit, so it doesn't matter if he gets a speed boost. Regardless, okay, my jokes aside, let's move on to support passive. So support passive resource will reduce the cooldowns by 20%. I love how supports just get the best of everything. They had the best passives before, and now they just got the most insane passive I just read. Reduce your cooldowns by 20%. Like, all these other things up here, they're like, it's nice, it's nice. And then supports is like, okay, just further control the game, why not? You know, like, just get your cooldowns back faster, because, you know, clearly it's still the most vulnerable role in the game and doesn't have everything going for it compared to two other roles. Okay, I digress. Little support rant over there. Swift save. Increased healing by 50% for targets below 35% HP. This is interesting. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this or not, but this will help character, like, assuming that this does go through, like, having this around in the game would really help characters that are, like, you know, struggling with the new DPS passes. So this would be really good for, you know, characters like Mercy. But also Mercy would really like reduce cooldowns by 20% up here to her. Like, her movement would be super good. So I don't know, it definitely changes things up, and that's why it's like, I like this. I like these new passive upgrades and things like that, but I would really like it if we could actually keep them in the game for more than 1 or 2 days, you know, in order to get a proper idea of what a world with this would feel like, even though this is just, you know, a mere test. So close call, again, a brief 20% speed boost when below 50% speed. I don't like this. I'm sorry. Like, this is the one that would have to go. This is the one that there's so much mobility creep. There's so much, like, this is them showing us that they still think support is like such a vulnerable role. Like, it's still suffering as if they aren't some of the best duelists, some of the best, like, damage dealers and things like that. Look at this. Reduce cooldowns, do more healing, or like a speed boost if you drop below 50%. And it's 20% speed boost. Like, again, it's like when you look at the way, like, things are done, it's like, oh yeah, you know, some of these are nice, you know, one of these is good and the others are subjective. And then supports is like, oh, you know, they just get to eat everything. Like, if you want to be a heal bot, great. Like, you know, imagine this on 𝐓𝐈𝐓𝐄𝐇, Swift Stave, or reduce cooldowns by 20%. Well, imagine a cooldown reduction on Mercy, you know, and then close call, gain a 20% speed boost when below 50 HP. Like, imagine Zenyatta or a Lucio that's unkillable because he's just speeding around the map. This is, I find it so insane. Like, when you put all these, you know, 3 passes together, the support bias is unreal. Like, I really wish sometimes Blizzard wouldn't shy away from, you know, look, sorry, they would kind of shy away from, you know, there's a little bit of a support bias, but there is clearly a support bias, and that's exactly why in the previous hotfix patch, the nerfs that 𝐒𝐈𝐈 got was practically pointless. She's still hella OP. I still see her in the ranked games everywhere. She's so strong right now, and it's not her kit, it's the pylon that really needs to get toned down again. So yeah, what do I think about these passives? Well, passives are really interesting. There's, you know, many things that we could possibly talk about. There's certain characters where all of this might feel really good, all of this might be feel. So I think about, like, you know, Hanzo. Does Hanzo have ammo capacity? No, so it's pointless on him. Does he need to see critical enemies through walls? I mean, he already has, like, his sonar thingy, and then, you know, eliminations granting a 30% speed boost. Again, pointless. Like, if you think about it, all, like, to a certain extent, all 3 of this DPS passive on Hanzo that you could pick from, they're practically useless. Maybe an argument could be made that it would be nice to, you know, see any enemy HPs through walls, so you can use the sonar for different situations. And, you know, line up like a shot to track them and then, you know, get a nice kill. But it's just kind of silly. Now imagine any of this, like the speed boost, the ammo capacity, or see critical HP enemies through walls. Imagine that on Tracer. Tracer could have so many things to do with this passive, like the 3 different passives. Right? You can just cycle between them, and it can enable so much aggression. It's scary because, again, this is the problem with passives, where it's like, on one guy it's pretty damn good, on another girl, you know, it's kind of questionable, it's kind of pretty damn, you know, broken. So that's just one example I wanted to talk about. I like the tank passes. I think the tank passes are the most reasonable ones in here. They just aim to help the tanks feel better, and, like, depending on what tank you're playing, let's say maybe you're like playing Doomfist, and you might want to use unyielding or maybe armored because you're going to get CC'd or things like that a lot. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm open-minded to passives. Overwatch is evolving into a completely different game. You know, we know that Aaron Keller is going to do the blog post about 6v6 and all that, but guys, let's be realistic. Like, they're not going back to 6v6. As much as I do believe we need to go back to 6v6, they're going to keep doubling down on this until we become Paladins 2.0. Like, seriously, like, bookmark this now. 1 year from now, they'll start implementing the Paladins card system, or like a League of Legends hero build system where you can just individually upgrade your hero, and then they'll, like, make it so that you can swap once or twice during a match. I can literally see that happening from now just because they're stubborn about 5v5. But anyways, everybody, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let me know what do you think about these passes. Are they nice? Are they good for the game? You know, which one do you think are broken? Which one do you think are practically useless? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. And if you want to support the channel for free, all you have to do is hit like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Helps me get around with the algorithm. And if you want to support the channel financially, I have a Patreon and YouTube memberships as well as YouTube donations going. So you know, if you do give me anything financial, it's appreciated. Like, you know, major shout outs to everybody that has been supporting the channel, especially through a very rough time lately. Been trying to get through it with a big smile on my face, and you know, not showcase that here, but it means the world that you guys have stuck around, and you know, we're still taking this channel forward. So with that being said, everybody, I will see you in the next one.